This is the video demonstration on Social Security. And in this video, I'm going to be working the solution for example number 2. The information that I'm using is available on the course website, and you have the option of printing that out in order to follow along with this video, or you could just simply follow the video because I will be including all the information on the screen. Now in this problem, we have a company called Adams Company, and they pay their employees monthly on the last day of the month. And it says to use the following information to compute the total FICA tax for the December 30th payroll for the employees and the employer. And of course we have a whole series of different employees that are included here, as well as their salaries. Now one thing I want to point out at the very beginning is that these salaries are in an annual format, and I'm actually doing the payroll for monthly, specifically for the 12th month of the year, December. So that's something we have to bear in mind as we work on this particular problem. Now to solve this problem, I'm going to utilize Excel. And I've already set some things up in advance, basically just to save time and make this video a little bit shorter. But of course, if you want to, you could also use Excel to solve this type of problem, or you could even use your own paper to solve this type of problem. But what I've done here is I've set up a column for employee, and I've just simply listed all the various employees that I was given at the beginning of the problem. And then I have a column for salary, and I've simply inputted that information in each space for each employee, their annual salary. So all that was given to me at the very beginning of the problem. So what I'm going to have to do is figure out the FICA taxes. Now remember, FICA taxes have two components. There is an OASDI component and an HI component. Now the OASDI taxes are going to be 6.2%, but only on the first $106,800. The HI taxes are going to be 1.45% regardless of how much money you've made. There is no cap on the HI taxes. Now for most of these employees, in order to get the taxable wages, it's going to be fairly simple for most of them. This is in an annual format. I need it to be in a monthly format. So what I could do initially is take the annual wages of each employee and simply divide that by 12. And then what I could do is just repeat that. I could literally repeat that for every single employee, except I may have one exception. I'll go back and check that shortly. But in this case, I'm just going to copy and paste this. Now, of course, if you're doing this on your own paper, you'd have to do this manually. But all I'm doing there is just taking the salary, in this case the salary of each employee, and dividing it by 12 because it's in an annual format, and I'm just trying to get it into a monthly format. And that's for the most part going to be almost the same across the board except one exception. Now, the reason I'm going to have one exception is if you look at these salaries, remember there's a cap on OASDI. The cap is $106,800. Well, if I go through here, most of these people make less than that in a year. So for most of them, it's literally going to be as simple as dividing their annual salary by 12. That's what I've done in just about every one of these instances. And of course on HI tax it doesn't matter. But I am going to have one problem, and that's right here. For Carson A, that's going to be a problem because that person's annual salary is $107,280. That's more than the cap. So that's why I had to delete that and leave that blank. Now over here on HI, it's not going to matter because there is no cap. But it is going to matter right here to get my OASDI tax. So to figure out that amount, I'm going to go down here to the bottom and do a separate calculation. Now Carson A, their annual salary is $107,280. I want to take that and I want to divide that by 12 to figure out how much that person makes in a month. So that person makes $8,940 a month. Now we're getting ready to do the December pay. So that means that so far year to date, this person has been paid for 11 months worth of salary. So $8,940 times 11 months means that year to date, this person has made $98,340. So what I want to know is how much more can they make before they hit that OASDI cap. So the cap is $106,800. So I will have that, and then I'll have the $98,340, and I'll take that cap and I'll deduct what they've made so far this year. So that means this person is only $8,460 away from hitting that cap. So $8,460, that's the amount that I want to use up here in the problem. So that's the one exception in this problem. That's the one catch, and that's probably the most difficult thing about working this particular problem. Now the rest of this is going to be pretty easy. I've got the taxable wages, and I've already taken into consideration the cap. So now I'm ready to just calculate the taxes. Now remember, the rate is 6.2%. So I'll take the taxable wages and I'll multiply that by 6.2%. Now remember, 6.2%, the decimal equivalent is 0.062. So that's why I'm having to do that. So that gives me the OASDI taxes. And I'll do one more of these before I copy paste. I'm just doing the taxable wages times 0.062. That's how I'm getting the OASDI taxes. So that will be just a repeat calculation for all these employees. So I'll just repeat that. Now over here on HI taxes, that's going to be a little different. This is based on 1.45%. So I'll get the taxable wages, and I'll multiply that by 0.0145, because the decimal equivalent of 1.45% is 0.0145. And then again, that would be a repetitious calculation that I would just manually repeat that. Of course, that's one of the benefits of doing this with Excel, is you don't have to do quite so much manual repetition of everything. But this will give me, in this case, the actual HI taxes. Now down here at the bottom, I've totaled that up. Now remember, in the problem, they wanted to know both the employee and the employer FICA taxes. Well, I've got the employee FICA taxes right here. For each employee, there's the OASDI tax, there's the HI tax. So for example, if I'm T. Jones, well, from my paycheck, they're going to withhold $252.65 for OASDI, $59.09 for HI. So we've provided that information for every single employee. But then by totaling the columns, I totaled all the OASDI. That totals $2,527, and I totaled the HI column. That adds up to $598. That's the employer part. So see, once you get the employee, then it's easy to get the employer. You just total it up, because remember, for every dollar, the employer matches it dollar for dollar. So that's the solution for example 2, Social Security.